Hi, everyone. This is Eric from Alpha Advisors here today with another video to talk a little bit about MBA admissions interview. And we'll go deep dive into what kind of questions you will get at your MBA admissions interview. My hope today is that after this video, you'll have a complete understanding, a cheat sheet in terms of what you can do to prepare for your interview and win your admissions at your dream school. All right, so let's get right into it. Just a brief introduction. Oh, and of course, as usual, like and subscribe to my video. I'll be putting out video every day, and hopefully, you guys can give me feedback in terms of what kind of content you want to hear. All right, I'm gonna introduce about our company briefly. We are a Japan-based admissions consulting firm. Our mission is to maximize human potential with the vision to become a global leadership development dojo, if you will. And so, if you don't know anything about us, come visit our website, or the link is in the description below. You can do a free consultation with us. So come chat with us, tell us what you're trying to do, and we can let's see how we can help you. All right, another announcement is advisors are wanted. We're trying to expand globally, so we want you, as someone who's been through the trenches of going through the MBA program, and if you're interested in helping others move on with their journey, come talk to us about that. All right. Again, the description link in the description below. All right. So let's get right into it. For MBA programs, there's essentially two parts to your interview: the first half and the second half. All right. Now, before I dive into this segment, one thing you have to understand is who is going to be interviewing you. Okay. Typically, either the admissions member of the admissions committee, the full-time staff at this business school will interview you, or a current student or alumni will be interviewing you. Okay, there are some differences in terms of the types of questions each interview may ask. Okay, for example, if a student or alumni will be more inclined to ask you general questions, basic questions. And you know what, that's actually going to be the entire format anyway, but it's actually good to understand who's going to be interviewing you, so you can try to make your adjustment in terms of your focal point, your storytelling, right? Maybe if a student who's working in finance or consulting is going to interview you, perhaps you'll talk a little bit more about that, right? So it changes in terms of who you'll be interviewing with. But in general, these types of MBA admissions interview, they're designed to be a basic overview to get to know you. Okay, they want you, and at this point, if you're invited to an interview, they want you to succeed. Okay, they want you to succeed, and they're not gonna throw you any trick questions or anything like that. And it's just a matter of getting to know you. Okay, and how well you can execute your story and your future aspirations, and how that school is a needed step to achieve your goal. All right, so that's is all what an interview is about. Okay, now first half, let's start with your introduction. And my apologies, the font may be a little too small, so I'll be a little bit I'll go through it thoroughly. So introduction, almost it'll start with, tell me a little bit about yourself, or walk me through your resume, right? And you'll want to keep it about a minute to 90 seconds. More than that will be too long. You don't want to wait. You don't want to, perhaps even 30 seconds to a minute. All right. Talk about what you're going to be doing, what you did, what you're doing now, and what you want to do. Okay. And another question they'll ask you is, why MBA? Okay. What makes you decide to apply for MBA now? Why now? Why MBA? How did you arrive to the conclusion of an MBA? Right, you'll need to be thorough with your answers with that. Why this school? Right? Why not? Why not I don't know, a competing school, or why that region? Right? Those are important parts that you'll need to understand to justify your motivation for applying to that school. So that's going to be very important. Okay. Perhaps a alumni, perhaps a mentor, perhaps a company that you're interested in, recruits from this particular school that you're interested in, right? Those are the types of reasons that you need to understand. How will you contribute? So a common question, right? So how will you contribute to the program? How will you contribute to the culture, to the class discussion, to the school value, things like that? Those are the types of questions that they'll ask you. Now, there often many people would answer this question by saying things like, I can contribute through my experience in project management and I don't know, online on the online retail industry, or I can contribute through my background as a Japanese, and I can bring my diversity into those into class discussions, right? Okay, so while those sound good, they are actually not that good. Why? Well, it's because it's just as simple as fact that it's just if your competition is also a project manager or is also a Japanese, or perhaps, in other words, has a similar background to you, then then your answer no longer is unique and therefore forgettable. Okay, so what you want to do is specific actions, right? I want to be in this, for example, I want to be a part of a leadership and XYZ club. And my passion is to, or since my experience it has been doing, XYZ, I know I would do well, and I would be able to contribute in this particular club, and to form networking events and foster stronger alumni, I think, or stronger networking, et cetera, right? Or if there's no club, I mean, they want to hear things like, yeah, if they don't have, if you don't have a club like that, I want to build a club or found a club and start, those are the types of action and commitment and desire that they want to hear from candidates. Okay, so don't yes, action and specific actions that they want to hear. All right. Okay, long-term goal. They want to know your long-term goal, career goal, aspiration. So again, the theme is specificity. Okay, the purpose of this interview is want to get to know you. Okay, what do you want to do? What are your goals and dreams? So be specific. What kind of company? What company? Industry? What position? How many people you may want to manage? Funds or fund that you want to manage. In the future, all right? 10 years, 10, 15 years, where do you see yourself, all right? And to accomplish this long-term goal, what is your short-term goal right out of this program, right out of MBA? What would you want to do? What company, what role? Same thing, all right? Another thing that I find successful students or prospective candidates do is to prepare a backup plan, right? Sure, let's just say your short-term goal is to work for Microsoft as a project manager, right? That's your goal, let's just say. But in case you're not able to achieve that goal, what would you do? Having a backup plan, you would seek to find employment with XYZ companies, because I know this particular school has a strong network in XYZ industry. And I know the network with the schools and my classmates, I have a higher chance of landing a project management job with those companies. Those are the types of answer you're looking for, right? Tie in, just a repetition of tying in why this school and how this school will help you achieve your goals. I mean, that's going to be a theme throughout your interview for these basic questions. Okay, second half, they're going to be behavioral based questions. All right. Why? Because every company in the United States, it seems like, will have behavioral based questions in your first round of interviews. Okay, so that's or at least in first round of interviews, perhaps throughout the interview. But so you want to prepare for these questions. The types of questions or categories, the questions will be about leadership. Okay, things like, tell me about a time that you led a team to a successful project. What did you do and what was the result? Right? Perhaps another category would be teamwork. Tell me about a time that you worked with a diverse team or cross-functionally How did you manage the team, and what kind of learning, or did you learn from it, or what kind of results did you see from it, right? A third category would be about challenge that you may have faced in your career, or about a failure that you may have had. So tell me about a time that you failed. How did you overcome it, and what did you learn from it, or what did you do, and what was the result, right? Similar thing. Okay. And final category, I believe, are most common will be an innovation type of question, or data analysis question, right? Tell me about a time that you had to innovate, bring innovation to your work. What did you do? What was the result? Tell me about a time that you persuaded someone through data, or tell me about a time that you used data to make a new proposal, or to implement a new initiative, or things like that, right? Would come up, could come up, very much come up. So these are the types of categories of behavior-based questions. You could formulate your stories under the STAR format: situation, task, action, and result. And just be ready to answer any types of questions that may come your way through these 4 category stories. Of course, these things are so easy to say, but so hard to build and bulletproof, right? And that's why you want to come and work with us with Alpha Advisors. So come talk to us. The link is in the description below. Come chat with us, get a free counseling session with us. Tell us about what you're trying to do, what your goals are, what kind of help you may specifically need, and we'll be happy to help. All right. So next video will be about, it's going to be a similar video, but for EMBA programs, the executive MBA programs. So stay tuned for that. This was Eric Young from Alpha Advisors. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.